UFC 243 features a main event of Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker, and we're going to talk about that fight. The biracial angel takes on the style bender. It's a great fight. I feel like Whittaker's going to win in the first 2 rounds by vicious KO. Y'all must have forgot. Okay, Robert Whittaker's the truth of that division. I want Israel Adesanya to win here. I think he's going to be the bigger star. I think he's got more potential to move up and fight John Jones. I think he's just a bigger sell in general, which is better for the UFC. I have to go against what I want. I feel like Robert Whittaker's going to win. He is actually one of my favourite fighters to watch. So I'm glad that he's main eventing and back in action. Fingers crossed he's back in action. Because I don't want to see no of the day fallouts again. Can we just all pray right now that Whittaker doesn't get just raped by the MMA gods and actually is able to show up without like his spine rupturing out of place? He's been an unlucky man, okay? A very unlucky man in terms of getting to the octagon. And I think if he did show up and beat Gastelum, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Whittaker's the guy, in my opinion. I think he's going to hit Israel Adesanya with a double engage, like Masvidal did to Darren Till. Israel Adesanya moves back with his chin open against kickboxers and traditional stand-up fighters. That works because they don't move their feet after they throw one shot. They plant and throw, and your chin's out the way because you've leaned back. Against Whittaker, who dashes forward and covers distance like no one else, this whole leaning back movement for the taller fighter is irrelevant. It doesn't work because you're going to get caught on the chin. And I think that when you're in high levels of stress, like Adesanya will be, this moving back of the head movement, although I'm sure his coaches are telling him not to do it in this fight, in moments of stress, you return to habit. And I think Israel Adesanya's going to get caught leaning his head back, and Whittaker's going to sweep one, boom, left hook over the top, cover amount of distance, catch Adesanya on the chin, and let him sink to the canvas. Whittaker's going to win this fight by KO. Okay? And all the Adesanya fanboys can leave their comments below. I'm going with Whittaker here. I think he gets the job done. I really do. I really do. I look at resume. Normally the recent fighter, like Israel Adesanya's had all of his fights pretty much since Whittaker last defended his belt. That's crazy to think about, but it's true. He's had all of his fights since Whittaker last defended his belt. But how selective the UFC has been with Adesanya means that Whittaker's wins are still more impressive despite them happening 2 years ago. Israel Adesanya in the rankings, who has he beaten? In the top 15 rankings, he's the current number 1 contender. Who has he beaten in the rankings? I look. I see Kelvin Gastelum. I see Derek Brunson at number 8. And I see Uriah Hall at number 11. That's the resume of a guy who's ranked number 1 right now. Doesn't make sense to me. You know what makes sense to me as a champion? I see Whittaker. I see 2 wins over Yoel Romero. I see a win over Jacare Souza. I see a win over Derek Brunson. I see a win over Brad Tavares. I see a win over Uriah Hall. And that's just in the top 15. He's the champ. And his wins still remain clear. It's not like 2 years ago he beat these guys and now they've all fallen off. Uriah Hall's on a 2-fight win streak. Brad Tavares has got a win under his belt recently. He's about to go on a streak if he's lucky. You know what I'm saying? Derek Brunson's on wins now. These wins mean something for Whittaker. It's not like he beat these guys and then they've fallen off their career like Israel Adesanya beating Anderson Silva. In my opinion, Israel Adesanya should have been a bit more dominant there. Like Anderson Silva isn't even ranked and shouldn't even have been ranked for that Israel Adesanya fight. I feel like people are forgetting. I really do. I want Israel Adesanya to win. Trust me, I do. I feel like Whittaker catches him on the chin. I really fucking do. I don't see the argument. I feel like Whittaker's going to really fucking put a hurting on him. Bad. The oblique kicks from Whittaker are going to work that he used against Yoel Romero. Israel Adesanya likes that wide stance. A little bit side on as well at times. Not going to be able to do that with a guy oblique kicking you. Whittaker likes to come in and throw combinations. Everyone that's fought Israel Adesanya so far has tried to load up with big shots. Other than Kelvin Gastelum. And here's where we can draw some narratives. Let's talk Kelvin Gastelum and Robert Whittaker. If you had to judge them both, I'd say speed goes to Whittaker. I'd say power goes to Whittaker. Okay? I'd say in terms of actual technique and just options in the fight game, that would also go to Whittaker. Size goes to Whittaker. Strength goes to Whittaker. But Kelvin Gastelum has, in my opinion, he's a little bit tougher chin. He's a little bit tougher in general. He's a bit more of a mean scrapper than Whittaker is. Whittaker likes to pick guys apart. Kelvin Gastelum likes to put his chin down and go. Kind of the similarities there. I feel like if Kelvin Gastelum can catch Israel Adesanya on the chin the way he did recently, people forget how recent that is. Israel Adesanya just went through a war. And look at his face after that fight. That was recently. And now they're fighting here. Whittaker's had all this time off to recover from things. I'm sure he's the healthiest he's ever been. He's younger than Israel Adesanya. I feel like if Kelvin Gastelum can land those shots on you, the smaller guy that covers less distance with less speed and less power, in my opinion, Whittaker's going to do exactly the same, but with covering more distance, more speed, more power, more precision, and more awkwardness. So where Kelvin Gastelum can't catch you when your head's off the centre line, Whittaker can, because his punches come off the centre line. I like Whittaker here, man. I feel like I'm on it. I'm on this one. You heard it here first. Bet on Adesanya, because I think Whittaker's winning. You know what I mean? I'm really into this. I think I've got it to a T. I think Whittaker's going to KO him in the first 2 rounds. Adesanya's going to try and lean back. And Whittaker's going to dart forward with a left hook and catch him on the chin. I've done my research. If I'm wrong here, I'll be thoroughly disappointed, but then excited, because Israel Adesanya being champion would be a very nice thing for the UFC. Big star, big potential seller. I like Whittaker here. I think he gets the job done. And I think if Kelvin Gastelum didn't shoot for takedowns after rocking Israel Adesanya, he would have got the job done as well, especially after that head kick. If Kelvin Gastelum can head kick you, Whittaker can do the same. Kelvin Gastelum doesn't throw a lot of leg kicks. Whittaker's going to be throwing a lot. Oblique kicks especially, going to be throwing a lot of them. Whittaker's just got the combinations. The mix-up of everything that Kelvin Gastelum maybe doesn't. He's a bit more of a boxing-heavy fighter. And when you're a boxing-heavy fighter, and you're facing a boxing guy who can box, but he has a much longer reach, a much longer range, way taller than you, with more weapons, that's a problem as a boxer. And it's a bad matchup for Kelvin Gastelum. I feel like Whittaker being able to mix things up a bit more is going to be able to get this one done. Really is going to be able to get this one done. Thanks for watching. This is going to be a good one. I'm so excited for this. I'm sorry, Israel Adesanya fans. I've let you all down, all you anime watching guys. Talk about Dragon Ball Z and fucking Attack on Titan, whatever you want to do in the comment section below. All the weebs talking shit. Bring it on. I feel like Whittaker's got him. And I feel like I've hit this one nail on the head. Whittaker's going to KO him in the first 2 rounds. He's going to catch him with a left hook while Israel Adesanya's leaning back. Adesanya's head going to hit the canvas. Whittaker may throw follow-up shots. He may not. Depends how quick the ref is. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is a fucking good one. Click that there. Yeah. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm fucking excited for this shit, man. This is what fucking MMA is about. Wonderful.